Okay, I am here. Right now I'm mixing some colors. I thought maybe I'd do a little work on putting the eyes in today. I'm also experimenting, and I don't know if I moved that. I don't like this rug for painting on. And to tell you the truth, I hate my new studio area. Can't stand it. No room. The rug's not nice that I can roll this chair around. Also, I'm using my phone today to record because I had some complaints from a few subscribers that my video was only in 720p and not full 1080 or 4K. Not much I can do about that. It's got to do with the program I use to upload. Just basic program. I don't have cash to run around getting real expensive goodies like that. I don't see the purpose in it when here I'm just doing this for a little fun. I'm using ETAC EFX paints on this and my Custom Micron SB. I noticed the last time when I was working on this, the angle where I had the camera or the phone, I had it on my gooseneck and it was attached to this table and it was vibrating and wiggling, and every time I put my hand up there it would focus on my hand and the painting would go blurry. So if this video is unsuccessful, I really apologize. Viewership is down. I still have no resources as far as or revenue coming from anything on here. So, you know, I want it to be a blessing. I'll leave my old videos up, but I may just cancel making videos anymore. It's really tough. My paints are getting really old. They're thinning out. They're all separated now. I mean, I'd shake and shake and shake. So, well, what I'm gonna do, I'm only gonna put a little in here. I'm gonna do 2 drops of water, because I like to thin out with water. Then I'm going to use my reducer base for my EFX paints. And so I'm going to do 3 drops of that. I got to get my little towel out here. Alright, I'm going to put that up there. Do this over here. Okay, and I'm going to put golden ochre to start the eye. Wow. Got a lot of back pressure in that bottle. And I'm going to do 3 drops of paint. So almost a 50-50, but with that water in there, it's a little bit thinner. I'm working on the illustration board this time. I'm not working on my clay board. I just haven't made any up. I should really before it gets freezing cold out, make a whole bunch for the winter time and get lazy. I got too many other things I'm dividing my time up with. Okay, I stirred that up with my little plastic swivel stick. Swizzle stick. Swivel. It's just a coffee stirrer. I like to use the plastic because I can rinse them and reuse them. I got to move my chair a little. I've got 35 psi on my compressor. And really, there's not a lot of painting doing this. I'm going to make sure I got my color. Yep. Good color. Now the eye on this tiger is really a pale yellow, little bit of green. So I'm just going to dust this. I'm doing a shadow on here. Let's move my light source a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. I've got a daylight bulb easel lamp. Let's see, we can do a little bit with this illustration board. You gotta be very easy with the paint flow. It does not absorb the way clay board does, and it will spider on you if you go too heavy. I'm going to go and dust the other eye right now, and then I'll work into it with an eraser. I'm merely flexing the tip of my finger to get paint to flow. I start my hair out here, then I move over the board. Okay, now actually with this color I've got a few little spots because the tiger has a lot of light yellows and browns on this one. He's not real orange. I can add in a little color just to give a little idea of what's going on. Pay attention to okay. And that's all the color I want to put in there at the moment. What I'll probably do is just add a little, one drop of blue into that yellow that's in my cup in a pinch. Now in his eye, I'm not going to use scratch brushes. I'm going to use a hard eraser. I got this chiseled down, so I'm just going to use the tip of this chiseled hard eraser. And I'm going to work just a little. I almost need this lamp way up here so it doesn't shoot the shadow on me. And I'm just going to work in right here on this. How do I want to? I got a little highlight in there, so I want to, this time, actually I am going to use a scratch brush to do this. I'm going to put in this little, the cleaner you keep this, the easier it will be later when you re-emphasize it. This is a fiberglass scratch brush. And it'll scratch the paint right off very easily. I got two little highlights. All right. And then we can take some of these areas, lighten them a little bit to create that. Same over here, we're gonna just work in some, I'm just merely touching and moving. I'm not creating really any fur type detail or anything in there. It's the eye, you don't want that. I could use a scalpel if I wanted to. Then, see, he's got a highlight over in here, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna smooth this all out a little bit with this chisel point on that. And then I got a couple little, what's that? I wanted a pointier one. I got a regular one just done into a pencil point. And I'm gonna open up. And this color was put on last week. About 4 days ago. I haven't worked on this in a while. Actually, no, 5, because I think the video said I put it up 5 days ago. Okay. That's just some highlights coming in, and I'm going to mute them. And then down on here. This is like a fleshy area. And then change back to a scratch brush and pull. Start to get that fur looking edge. Pay attention to the direction of the fur. That's below that. Alright. Keep moving this on me. Stop it. Stop it. No. Alright. Let's get a little green in there. Actually, you know what? Let's work this other eye first. Before I go putting the green in, I'm going to use, just to start this. I haven't put any black in this eye yet, so I'm going to end up having to rework all this, a lot of this anyways. Not black, but Payne's gray. On this, it's got a lot of edge. I have to say one thing about working off the easel. I'm not used to my painting drifting around and moving when I brush the eraser marks off. So, while we're at this point, let's drag a couple more furry highlights. This is the brightest part, because if you remember in my last little section of video, I did an overlay on this, some color, to mute it back. But I never went back in and re-scratched to create the highest highlights. What I'll do after I get these in on this area is I'll go in with a little darker color and redefine spots. Just bringing out a couple. That way it's not so flat looking. A lot of times I just work back and forth. If I see something, I'll do it, because otherwise I'm going to forget later on. We don't want to forget things. That's been most of my life. You know, I can't help but wonder if some of my viewership has gone down because of my witness for Christ in my videos. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I have to make a stand for my Lord. It's what my life is supposed to be, a witness for Christ. And it's given to every man a chance of repentance unto salvation and rejection unto condemnation. So it's in your ball field, baby. I did my part. Okay, well, enough of that. Let's put that 1 drop of blue in. I don't know if I want ultramarine or what's this lighter one? That's a little darker. It's got more purple in it. I'm making a mess. Carbon black. Alright. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. I'm going to add just a little ultramarine blue. Got a little bit of violet into it. A little red. It hasn't been used in a long time. Excuse me. So I gotta shake this up. I'm hoping this video will turn out. If you don't see it, that tells you it didn't. Let's see what we got here. Let's give 1 drop. Okay. That's all I want, because there's not a lot of paint in there. We'll give this a little mixy, kind of a brownish. Actually, this is perfect color. That worked perfect. Nice. I like that. And we're going to spray that through. Hopefully that color's coming through now. Nope, not yet. Don't ever spray in your spray pot until you put it on your crown cap. Alright. Now we're going to take... turn my cup a little. Just working in little bitty dots in here. Very subtly. Working like this is an adventure, man. I don't have that freedom of movement like normal. But I can work very tiny. If I want, I can always people have said to me about, yeah, I don't have steady hands no more. Doing this like this, you don't have to worry about steady hands so much. You're resting on everything. And I'm still keeping a basic dagger stroke. I'm not... There's kind of a line going on in here. Again here. He's looking right at us. Just watching my reference so I know where I gotta add, where I'm gonna take away. Alright, that's looking really good. There we go. Alright, I'm liking that. Let's go over to this side. This side's got a little more brown coming through, but I can start to add some of this little bitty details with this color. You paint exactly what you see if you're going to do photorealism. You don't. I can't emphasize this enough. Basic drawing skills will help you immensely. And the power of observation. Looking at your subject way more than your reference, or you're looking at your reference or subject more than your own painting will give you more ability to see the details. You look at your painting more, you're going to guess at the details. You're not going to do a true representation. I wish you could see my head and everything while I'm doing this. Let's put this color in here to start the pupil. And yes, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that is a California air tool compressor. I purchased that after I sold my Iwata great white shark. I do that a lot. I sell things to fund other things. I just wish it were my art that was selling and not the other way around. Okay. Let's clean the tip of this airbrush. You know what? I don't even know if I've got Q-tips left in here. Looks like my Q-tip collection is null and void. Oh, there they go. I'll give you a quick demo of what I do to clean the tip of my airbrush. I'll pick the tip a lot of times, but I'll take a Q-tip, I'll dip it in my distilled water, put it on the tip of the needle, give a little twist, clean. Absolutely clean. And then put my crown cap back on. I was scared to death. I'm gonna bend that needle. Don't need to spend no 20 bucks on a new needle unless I have to. I've got the Sharpenair though, so that helps. All right, let's do a little scratch work into this. A little bit of overspray gets in here. I know you can't see it. I know you can't. And I'm gonna use this for up here at the moment. I'm just putting in the basic highlights into this. I need some pinpoint erasing. Choosing to do this on a 12 by 12. It's kind of tiny. Okie dokie. Just looking, I gotta put some brown in. Okay, let's add a little brown into that paint. I can still use the same paint. Keeps it tied into the same family. And what do I want? Burnt umber, maybe into there. Yeah, probably burnt umber into those eyes. There's only a dusting of burnt umber into this. I don't have a full set of colors. It would be nice to. Let's do this. I'm going to add a little bit more transparent base. Because I added the blue into there. And I find these colors, being that they've kind of watered out on me. Okay, I'm gonna go 3. I think I got someone at the door. I think I had a delivery. You're gonna have to bear with me a minute. I'll try not to kick anything. I don't want to stop the video because I don't want to splice it together. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see what we were looking at. It's looking okay. It's looking okay. Oh, gloomy day outside, people. Gloomy, gloomy. Okay. Okie dokie. We're going to spray this color through again. Get that brown through. Okie doke, okie doke. I keep saying okie doke. I don't know why. Okay. Probably drive you nuts with me and my okay, now let's, okay. We got the brown burnt umber mixed into the original color. Keeps it tied into the original family. I'm just gonna add in some of this detail. There's not a lot of the brown in here. Just a little. I gotta be very careful because it's tiny where I gotta put it. A little bit of brownish up here, shadowing. Just building that all up. I can shadow this a little more up here. It's gonna end up going black up on that spot. I was spraying up on the top. I can't paint as long anymore because my back. Kind of found out something a little bit interesting. Let's just add that. I'm going to add a little of my own detail into this. Just I hear paint clogging up. I heard that little sound. It means my tip is starting to get too much tip dry. You know, be careful because unconsciously you start to pull back further on that trigger to get paint rather than to clean it. Let's do a little clean here. Periodically, if you're spraying a long time and real fine, it will start drying that out on you. Alright, there's a little bit of shadowing. And then over here. This is quite dark. Like so, giving that round look to the eye. Building up a darker base. On top of that gray. Yeah, a little lip of color pulling too hard. Just building everything slowly. Okay, giving a little more definition to that eye in here, so. making that eye just come alive. This part here, I think I gotta hit that back a little more, like so. Okay. Now let's go over into this eye. Let's put in some of these off the iris. And round up here. Now this is more gray over in this area, so I don't want to overdo this little color. And this big old kitty, he's not, gotta give a little. He's not real defined in this picture. Going a little bit heavier up in here. Just to start to build around that eye. Then I'll be going back in with the Payne's Gray and probably some carbon black later. That shadow around the eye. Let's add a little more of that brown into the pupil. Pulling a little down into that. Like so. And then we got a little bit of misty coming down here. Okay. Eyes are starting to really come together here. I mean, it's a full portrait of this beautiful cat. But there's not a whole amount of detail into them. Alright, now what we're going to do. Let's do a little work into that. We're getting close to the end of this session. I know it's short. I know. Sorry. Let's just take and work our highlights back in. And I don't want to use use that in there. This is not pointy enough. The only reason I don't want to use the scratch brush in there is because it's I need something really deadly pointy. I wonder if I could use my Mono Zero eraser. Where are you, Mono? Mono. I've made a mess out of my drawer. I'll tell you. It was right over here. And now I can't find it. Where are you? Oh, maybe the Lord's telling me don't use it. I got so much in here, it's kind of hard to see. There we go. Yeah. You gotta be careful brushing stuff off of this, and because if you've got some of that fibers from the brush, it will scratch it. Let's just soften this a little bit. Get a little detail back in there. Same down below here. Just wiggling a little bit, as you can hear by my lamp, my one light. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some Payne's Gray. Or do I want sepia smoke and Payne's Gray? Let's do that. I think that sounds like a good addition into this color. Your purple. I can make a mix of black out of this. I got brown in there already, a dark brown. And all you'd have to do is add some blue and some of the sepia smoke, and you got a black. You can't go just blue. You'll make a violet. Let's do 1, 2, 3. We'll do 3 drops of that. And I'm just going to go straight to Payne's Gray, I think, into this. There is, you could take actually a black pencil, colored pencil, and go into this. I think I need a little blue into there. Let's do 2 drops of blue. I had already mixed that up, so I didn't have to shake it again. Only because I just got a real dark brown. I wanted to go a little bit more to the black side. I'm not going to really thin this too much. I don't even think I'm going to thin it unless I find it drying on my tip. And I used to tell you don't. With the EFX paints, you don't have a lot of tip dry at all. The only time I get tip dry is when I sit there and hold it for a long time. Okay. There's a dark shadow on the top edge. Now this is not a true black, so just so you're aware. Just cleaning up this edge. Putting in some detail into here because you've got light reflecting. And we got on the bottom edge of this. Pull a few shadows down onto this area. I gotta mist in a little blue onto this too. I'm seeing a good amount of blue popping through there. On there, on the camera, that video, you're probably not going to notice as much. All the little intricate details, but I can't. Okay, let's go over to this side now. Well, actually, before I go and do that, we can put some of this into we got little bitty. It's tiny. More up here. Concentrating. As usual, I'm getting quiet on concentrating. Alright, I gotta tone that spot down before I forget. You wouldn't know it. I know it. Let's just take that down just a touch. You gotta let that dry too a little bit, I think. Just going above that. I got a little bit heavy-dibby. the color right there. So we'll just knock it back a little bit with the eraser. I'm going to take my X-Acto blade and knock some of this off. Just using the edge of it. Very lightly scraping into it. And let's get a little better point on that. Okay. Just getting a little too dirty looking in there. And we'll pull a couple lines up. Bring up that little highlight again. Okay, that's looking good to me. Maybe a little bit lighter right here. There. Make that eye come alive. Alright, now we're going to go over into the other eye. Make sure my color's spraying. Paint's straining a little bit today. Yeah, just a little bit dry going on there. Fluctuating the needle tip so it's not just a solid line in there. This eye on this side has a little more highlights going on. In the eyelid. you start to get that look. That I want to eat you look, because you look delicious. I'm just putting a real light mist. Around there. Let's do the same over here. And up here, there's a little more shadowing going on because this is slightly in front of that. Shadowing. That doesn't look so flat. So you can see how I'm building up these areas slowly on this painting. And that's going to be it for today's little lesson. I think I notice a little bit of dry paint spitting off here and there because it's spraying so long and so light. It will do that. And I'm just going through some soft tip erasers. What I gotta do, we got a little blobby of paint here. It's all gonna be worked in because I'm gonna be going around with the scratch brush like in here to get that edge of the fur showing. We can actually do some in just to give an idea. Get a start to it. Just using my Euro Tool scratch brush, pulling strokes up. And the same over here. This fur's growing in over the edge of the nose and then slowly turning up. Like so. Then we'll go back over that real quick just to mist it back. And like I did over there, I can do that here. Let's see, it's growing this way, so I want to pull into it. I want to pull out of it over the cheekbone from the eye socket. And you get that little bit of furry detail. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little session. Painting the tiger's eyes. I think I will call it that. This is a down and dirty one. Got a little speck. I don't know if it's paint. No, it's just a little piece of eraser that wants to stick on there. There we go. Clean that up. Okay, let's get a little more paint in here. I'm gonna clean my needle. It's always a good habit to, before you go back to painting, after your brush has been sitting there, clean that needle tip. It's a good habit to get into. Plus then you got a real nice flow of paint coming once again. I'm just going to mist along that edge. Knock back those little scratched in highlights. Hit this a little more. This over here. Just looking at this, build up a little more layer here. Again over here. This isn't so white highlighted. And there's a little bit going down like that. Mr. Cutter. Give me my burrito. Let's get this a little bit more down in here. Since we've got this color in, I'll just carry this down a little more. I'm going to dust that with a little blue, I think, in there. And we can maybe hit these markings a little bit deeper all around the eyes since we got it in here. Doing a dagger stroke since I don't want to just paint it solid. Just to start deepening these markings in. Okay, and start to get a little of this one in. It's got a little bit of carryover here, and the actual marking. Right now I'm just flooding this marking in a little bit. Start to get definition of fur. just to give a little personality around those eyes and start that. Well, like I said, that's going to be it for today. And there's not a lot of real white highlights in these eyes. I can alter that if I want to make it more intense. Yeah. Actually, give me where's what I'm looking for. And maybe a little lighter spot here. And down here. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little session. Let's maybe get a little better look at those eyes. You're gonna have to bear with my poor camera technique. Moving my easel around. And there you go. There you have it. That's what we've been working on today, getting those eyes in there. A little nicer detail. And then overall. Okay, God bless everyone. Thank you again for joining in. This is Fred Wagner, Papa's Painting Tips, painting the eyes of this tiger. God bless. Have a good day.